This is Bone Chillers to disturb your dreams. Dare to join us? Click subscribe, ring the bell. But remember, we cannot guarantee your safety from the nightmares that await. Prepare to be thrilled, chilled, and filled with a sense of dread you'll find nowhere else. Welcome to the darkness. We've been waiting.
The Whispers of Hangar 18. The first time I heard the whispers, I thought they were just echoes of the wind against the cold metal of Hangar 18. As a new recruit at Wright Patterson Air Force Base, my duties often led me on night patrols around the perimeter of the infamous hangar, a structure shrouded in conspiracy and legend. Little did I know that my life was about to intertwine with the most profound secret in human history. It was a chilly night in October when the whispers became clear. Hushed, eerie voices floated through the air, unintelligible at first, but gradually forming words that tugged at the edges of my consciousness. Discover, reveal, truth, they seemed to say, their cadence rhythmic and hypnotic. My rational mind urged me to dismiss them as figments of imagination, yet something primal within me insisted on listening. The voices guided me to a secluded corner of the hangar, to a rusted, unassuming panel that I had never noticed before. With trembling hands, I pried it open, revealing a hidden compartment containing a bizarre device, unlike anything I'd ever seen. It was an amalgam of metal and light, pulsating with a strange energy that made the air around it shimmer. As soon as I touched the device, a torrent of images and voices flooded my mind. They were extraterrestrials, beings of light and sound, communicating through a medium beyond human understanding. They spoke of their ancient interactions with Earth, how they had influenced the course of human evolution and history in ways we couldn't fathom. The pyramids, the Nazca lines, ancient mythologies, all were part of a larger tapestry woven by these celestial visitors. The revelations were overwhelming, but the aliens had a purpose for me. They had chosen me to be their conduit, to prepare humanity for a truth that would shatter our perception of reality. They showed me visions of a future where humans and extraterrestrials coexisted, sharing knowledge and technology, but only if we could overcome our fears and prejudices. Each night, I returned to the hangar, drawn by the whispers that now formed a constant chorus in my mind. I documented everything, filling notebooks with sketches of alien technology and transcripts of their messages. The more I learned, the more I realized how little we knew about the universe and our place within it. But with great knowledge came great risk. I was being watched. Shadowy figures lurked in the periphery of my vision, and my superiors at the base began to question my nightly excursions. I knew I had to act fast. I decided to go public, to share the truth with the world, but as I made my plans, disaster struck. My quarters were ransacked, my notes and the alien device stolen. I was detained, accused of espionage and delusion. They didn't understand, couldn't understand, what I had experienced. In a windowless room, under harsh lights, they interrogated me, but I stayed silent. The truth was too important, too monumental to be entrusted to those who would suppress it out of fear and ignorance. As I sat there, defiant yet despairing, the whispers returned, comforting and resolute. The extraterrestrials hadn't abandoned me. They whispered of other agents, other points of contact around the world. The truth would emerge one way or another. As I await my fate in this cell, I realize that my role was never to be the herald of this new age, but merely a catalyst. The whispers of Hangar 18 will find others, and the truth will seep through the cracks of the world's carefully constructed ignorance. The future is coming, a future where the shadows of our past are illuminated by the light of truths far greater than ourselves. And in the silence of my confinement, the whispers continue, a symphony of secrets and promises, echoing the unending mystery of the cosmos.
Hangar 18 incident. The night was ink black, the stars blotted out by a storm rolling in fast from the west. My plane, a vintage P-51 Mustang I had restored myself, was struggling against the wind. Lightning crackled, illuminating the Ohio skyline in brief, eerie flashes. That's when I saw it, Hangar 18 mythical and foreboding, standing like a sentinel in the distance. I'd always laughed off the stories about Hangar 18, the tales of hidden UFOs and alien experiments. But as my engine sputtered, failing, I had no choice but to crash land in the only open space visible, a field near the infamous hangar. Crawling from the wreckage, I expected alarms, searchlights, soldiers. Instead, there was silence, broken only by the distant rumble of thunder. The hangar loomed over me, its doors slightly ajar. Driven by a mix of curiosity and a need for shelter, I approached. Inside was not what I expected. No mothballed aircraft or military secrets, but an elevator descending into the earth. The power of the storm must have disrupted the security because the doors slid open as I approached. The elevator took me deep underground, into a world that defied logic. A labyrinthine facility stretched out before me, illuminated by a soft, alien glow. Corridors branched off in every direction, and I could hear the distant hum of machinery, the whispers of voices. I stumbled upon them in a vast chamber, humans and beings that were clearly not of this world working side by side. The aliens were tall, with luminous skin that seemed to shift in colour. They turned to me, their eyes expressing not surprise but what seemed like anticipation. Before I could run, I was seized by guards and brought before a human scientist, Dr. Elena Voss. She explained in a voice that was both soothing and authoritative that I had entered a joint human-alien research facility. My presence was both a problem and an opportunity. They were experimenting with DNA manipulation and psychic enhancement, she said, to prepare humanity for a future where we would join a galactic community. It was an honor, she insisted, to be chosen for their program. I didn't feel honored. I felt terrified. But refusal wasn't an option. The first change was physical. My body was infused with alien DNA, altering my very cells. I felt stronger, faster, my senses heightened to an almost unbearable degree, but it was the psychic alterations that were truly disorienting. I began to perceive thoughts, emotions, even memories of others. It was overwhelming, a cacophony of voices inside my head. And with these abilities came a terrible clarity. I understood that this facility, this collaboration, was not about mutual understanding or preparing humanity for the future. It was about control. The aliens, as advanced as they were, feared us, feared our capacity for chaos, for destruction. They sought to shape us, mold us into something more compliant, more alien. I couldn't let that happen. Using my newfound abilities, I reached out, searching for minds that were sympathetic, human, or alien. I found allies, others who saw this collaboration as a perversion of both species. We planned our escape, a dangerous gambit that relied on subterfuge and the very powers they had given me. We sabotaged the facility's power core, plunging it into darkness, and used the chaos to flee through the labyrinthine corridors. The storm above had passed, and as we emerged into the night, I looked back at Hangar 18. It was just a building now, its secrets exposed, its power diminished. But the world beyond, I realized, was forever changed. As for me, I could never go back to the life I had. The pilot who had crash-landed near Hangar 18 was gone, replaced by something new. I had become a bridge between worlds, a fusion of human and alien, with abilities that were both a gift and a curse. The Hangar 18 incident would become a legend, another conspiracy whispered about in dark corners. But for those of us who lived it, who were changed by it, it was a stark reminder of the dangers lurking in the shadows of progress, of the cost of reaching beyond our grasp.
The last transmission. I've always been fascinated by the unknown, the unexplained. It's what drew me to a career in the communications department at the highly secretive military base. My job was mundane, monitoring frequencies, deciphering codes, the usual. But that night, as the clock struck midnight and the world outside was cloaked in darkness, something extraordinary happened. I was sifting through static, a chorus of white noise, when a strange signal pierced through, clear and distinct. It wasn't like anything I'd encountered before. The frequency was erratic, unlike any earthly transmission. I adjusted the dials, trying to lock onto it. My heart raced as the signal stabilized, transforming into a voice, desperate and alien. "Is anyone there? Please, you must listen," it pleaded in broken English, with an accent I couldn't place. The voice was strained, as if every word was a battle. I grabbed the microphone, my voice trembling. "This is Hangar 18 Communications. Identify yourself." There was a pause, and then, "I am not of your world. I am trapped here. I need help to return to my home." Chills ran down my spine. Was this a prank? A test? I glanced around the empty room, half expecting to see my colleagues laughing at me. But there was only silence. "Where are you?" I asked, skepticism laced with curiosity. "In the facility. Hangar 18. They don't understand my language. You are my last hope." The mention of Hangar 18 sent a jolt through me. It was the most secretive part of the base, shrouded in rumors of extraterrestrial artifacts and encounters. "How did you get here?" I inquired, my disbelief waning. "A crash, a mistake. My ship is damaged. I cannot communicate with my kind." The voice sounded so human, so full of fear and desperation. I knew the protocols, the consequences of breaching security, but something in that voice compelled me to act. "I'll try to help you," I whispered, making a decision that would change everything. "Thank you," the voice said, relief evident even in its strange accent. I grabbed a flashlight and made my way to Hangar 18, my heart pounding in my chest. The hangar loomed before me, a giant metal structure bathed in the glow of security lights. Inside, it was a labyrinth of corridors and rooms filled with unrecognizable technology and artifacts. I moved stealthily, avoiding the occasional guard. The closer I got to the source of the transmission, the more the air seemed to crackle with energy. Then I saw it. In the center of a large room was a spacecraft, unlike anything on Earth. It was sleek, emitting a faint glow, damaged on one side, and there, leaning against it, was the alien. It was humanoid, tall and slender, with skin that shimmered like starlight. Its eyes, large and luminous, met mine, filled with an intelligence and emotion that was unmistakably sentient. "You came?" it said, its voice a mere whisper. "How can I help you?" I asked, my fear replaced by a sense of wonder. "I need a component to repair my ship. It's in a locked section. Only someone like you can access it." I nodded, driven by a desire to help this stranded being. We moved together, me leading the way to the restricted section. The component was small, unremarkable to my eyes, but the alien handled it with reverence. As we returned to the spacecraft, alarms suddenly blared throughout Hangar 18. We had been discovered. "There's no time," the alien said urgently. "I must go now." I watched in awe as the alien repaired its ship with deft movements. The ship hummed to life, its lights pulsating. "Thank you," the alien said, looking at me one last time. "You have shown kindness when you could have shown fear." And then, in a flash of light, the ship ascended, disappearing into the night sky, leaving behind a trail of sparkling light. The guards found me moments later, but I didn't care. I had just witnessed something incredible, something beyond our world. The next days were a blur of interrogations and debriefings. I was discharged from my position, my security clearance revoked, but I held on to the memory of that night, the night I helped an alien entity return home. The story of the last transmission was dismissed as a delusion, a breach of protocol spun into madness. But I know what I saw, what I experienced. In the quiet of the night, when I look up at the stars, I can't help but wonder about that alien out there somewhere, remembering Earth and the human who dared to help. And sometimes in the dead of night, I swear I can hear a faint signal, a whisper from the stars, a reminder of that last transmission. The Forgotten Experiment. I always believed science held the answers to the universe, but some truths are too terrifying to uncover. My name is Dr. Alex Renner, and I worked at a clandestine government base, sifting through the remnants of past projects. It was here, among forgotten files and dusty shelves, that I stumbled upon Project Upsilon, a series of classified experiments involving unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, dating back to the 1970s. The project was shrouded in secrecy, with notes scribbled in a frenzied script detailing encounters and experiments far beyond normal comprehension. As I delved deeper, I found references to human subjects, but these weren't typical studies. The notes spoke of enhancing human capabilities, blending our biology with something otherworldly. I should have stopped there, reported my findings, and walked away. But curiosity, that insidious snake, coiled tighter around my reasoning. Night after night I pored over the documents, my dreams infiltrating my waking hours. The line between reality and imagination blurred, replaced by a constant unnerving hum that seemed to emanate from the very walls of the base. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across my lab, I discovered a hidden chamber, sealed off for decades. Inside, amidst a tangle of archaic machinery, lay a pod-like structure, large enough to hold a person. My heart raced as I approached, the hum intensifying, vibrating through my skull. And then, a revelation. A series of photos, showing subjects before and after the experiment. Their eyes weren't human anymore. They were larger, darker, as if the very essence of their being had been altered. Was this the goal of Project Upsilon? To create a hybrid, a being not entirely of this world? I should have felt fear, but instead, a strange compulsion overtook me. I needed to understand, to experience what they had. The pod beckoned, its interior lined with wires and strange symbols that glowed faintly in the dim light. I climbed inside, the lid closing with a hiss. The hum crescendoed, piercing my thoughts, reshaping them. Images flashed before my eyes, distant galaxies, celestial bodies, and beings of light communicating in a symphony of colors. I felt my consciousness expand, reaching out to the far corners of the universe. When I awoke, the base was silent, the pod open and unassuming. But something within me had changed. My senses were heightened, my thoughts clear yet foreign. I could perceive things beyond normal vision, hear whispers of a cosmic language that resonated deep within my soul. Days passed, or maybe weeks. Time became irrelevant. I continued my work, but everything felt trivial compared to the knowledge I now possessed. My colleagues began to notice the change. They whispered behind closed doors, their eyes filled with a mix of fear and curiosity. That's when the paranoia set in. Was I still Dr. Alex Renner, or had I become something else? A subject of the very experiment I sought to understand. My reflections in the mirror seemed alien, my eyes too keen, too aware. And then came the visitations. Shadows at the edge of my vision, figures cloaked in starlight, speaking in the same cosmic language that now filled my thoughts. They told me of their plans, of a world beyond our understanding, where humanity was just a small piece of a grander design. I tried to share my findings, but words failed me. How could I explain the unexplainable? My colleagues grew distant, fearful of the changes they saw in me. I was no longer one of them. I was a relic of a forgotten experiment, a bridge between worlds. As I write this, I know my time here is limited. The shadows grow bolder, their whispers louder. I'm losing grip on what makes me human, my identity slipping away like sand through my fingers. I leave this account as a warning. Some secrets are meant to stay hidden, some doors closed. We are not alone in this universe, and our understanding of reality is but a fragment of a larger, more terrifying truth. If you find this, know that I once was Dr. Alex Renner, a scientist driven by curiosity. But now, I am something else, a part of an experiment that should have remained forgotten. And I fear, in uncovering this truth, I have opened a door that can never be closed again.
Thank you for watching, and remember, the darkness awaits. Until our paths cross again, stay fearful and stay subscribed.